going to take some time for a couple of questions. There are two people with mics. If you wish to ask a question, request a mic, state your name because this is being taped. I suppose I should have said that in the beginning. Anyway, please.
Got somebody there?
Naomi Sheeman, the Philosophy Department here at the University. Thank you. That was extraordinary. Do you yet have any sense of whether you're going to be getting uptake from the Obama administration?
Well, when I presented this talk at WHO before Obama was elected and Bush was still in office, the American attaché got up and said, "We will sign another treaty over my dead body." I'm assuming it's not going to be that bad now. But I do think that Obama is adverse to doing something very bold in global health governance because he's focused here. I have heard that he is willing to ratify some treaties. Probably the first one would be the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. I think the best that I can expect, and I have good reason to this, is that they wouldn't stand in the way. One of the problems I've had, I've been in, I started out in mental health and then I went to AIDS and then public health and now global health. This is the most depressed I've ever been. It's depressing not only because of how overwhelming the problems are, but it's depressing about how entrenched people's views are. People don't want to do anything any differently. When I talked to Bob Zellick at the World Bank, he said, "This is a great idea. We'll support it, but WHO needs to take the lead." So then I saw Margaret Chan, head of WHO, and she said, "Great idea. If you can get some countries to support it from the bottom up, I'll support it." Then I went to the group of 8 countries, Norway, South Africa, Brazil, and that group, and they were about to put in a UN resolution. They went to their political leaders and they said, no, they weren't going to do that. And so I've kind of been around in a cycle, and I don't know exactly where it's going to lead. Right now, the Pan American Health Organization is thinking of trying the idea in the Americas and then expanding it beyond this. So I'm not hugely optimistic, but I think you need to dare to try to fail and to be as bold as you can. One thing I do know, I don't think there's anybody who understands global health well will dispute the fact that my analysis of what the problems are, or the fact that you can't change it unless you do this. But yet, this is the only proposal for, innovative proposal for global health governance out there. There are no others. And so at least it's beginning the conversation. And for people that tell me this proposal won't work, I say, fine, it may very well not work. Come up with a better idea.
One more.
Thank you for coming here today. My name's Nathan Hansen. I'm an attorney in this area here, and I found your talk very interesting. I have had some interest in this issue of third world nations and problems that they encounter. And one thing that I've discovered in my research of these issues is that the International Monetary Fund has been involved in lending out huge amounts of monies to countries that they can never pay back, and then taking the profits and shipping them right back to first world countries. I would cite to Ecuador, Indonesia, other countries like that. And I would submit to you, I care about the health of people as well, but I would submit to you that cancellation of third world debt, elimination of International Monetary Fund meddling in these third world nations for first world profit might be a better place to start than global government.
Well, the IMF loans and the World Bank, they structured their loans in ways. The idea of them making loans to developing countries is not a bad idea. But what they made them do is have first world economic policies to ensure that they could pay them back, which meant that they actually had to cut social services, cut health care, and be much more a competitive-oriented society. I think there's a growing understanding, certainly at the bank, and I think also at IMF that was a bad and very destructive model. And I think we need to do all these things. I think that debt repayment, restructuring debt, and going forward about how IMF and the World Bank are going to give loans and on what conditions are a very important part of the problem. They're not the only solution, but they are an important part of the problem.